So we want to welcome each and every one of us to this wonderful session of personal leadership journey for neighborhood transformation in a transformative roundtable conversation. This is a program that is going to take us about 20 sessions altogether. Each the whole session is divided into 5 modules, and under each module we have 4 different uh, topics which we are going to look into. We are going to begin with module 1, and we are going to start with vocational leadership. You can already see that on the screen, vocational leadership. So when we talk about vocational leadership, what are we talking about? We are talking about you discovering what your calling is in life. That is what vocation is. Vocation means the calling that is upon your life. When I'm talking about calling, I'm not necessarily talking about being called into pastoral ministry or being called into an evangelistic ministry. Uh, a lot of people have limited calling to that section of human uh, activity, but that is not the only place where calling can be achieved. Calling can be achieved in any area of one's life. So we are talking about your vocational leadership. We are talking about the gifts, the calling that you have upon your life that will establish your leadership. So we are simply talking about who am I? That is what we are talking about. Who are you? Who am I? Here we are going to go through a journey into your own world that only you can transverse. That is the journey of self-discovery. In this module, which is the module 1, we are going to talk about the goal of vocational leadership. Basically, there are 2 goals of vocational leadership. In this section, I want to make you happy, HAPPY. So at the end of this lesson or lecture, I hope I would have been able to make you happy. And the second goal for vocational leadership is to establish a legacy in your life. So let's begin by taking the quote from Proust. Proust says the real voyage of discovery consists not in seeking new lands, but in seeing with new eyes. So, in other words, what I want to achieve through today's teaching is not for you to begin to see which land you need to conquer in your life, but rather to begin to see even the territory you already have acquired, to begin to look at them with new eyes, to begin to take a journey into yourself. So here we are talking about you sitting down and having a self-dialogue with yourself. Because there is that time in everybody's life when we need to sit down and ask ourselves that critical question, that existential question of who am I? It is about that time you need to embark on the journey of self-discovery and recovery. For me, this is the first major step to greatness as a leader in life. A great leadership success or attainment in life begins with looking inward to uncover the real stuff you are made of. Any leader who is not ready to pay the price of looking inward will have to depend on other people to help him or her to lead the way. So it is your duty, it is your job to really sit down and begin to take stock of what you've got. You see, what you need to succeed in life is not out there. They are already resident inside of you. All you just need to sit down, all you just need to do it is to sit down and begin to unveil all the deposits that has been given unto you one after the other to really ascertain where you have been assigned to excel. So before you begin to look at your environment to get what you need in life, you need to thoroughly search yourself and ask yourself, what do I have that I can bring to the table to benefit myself and the team members around me? So in this lesson, we are going to explore the 5 main channels through which we can discover our true and authentic self through the acronym that I call HAPPY, HAPPY. So the 5 unique concepts that are embedded in this acronym are: number 1, hate; number 2, hunger; number 3, purpose; number 4, passion; number 5, play. So those are the 5 main uh, channel through which we are going to establish our true and authentic self. What do you hate? What are you angry at? What is your purpose in life? What are you passionate about in life? What is it that you love and enjoy to play with in life? And we are going to look at them one after the other. So what do I hate to see around me? This is one of the ways to look inward. Many of the questions we have in our life or that needs answers in our life are not out there in the world. The first place to first of all seek the answers of the questions of your life is to look inward. And one of the first questions you need to ask yourself is, what do I hate to see around me? A lot of us, we have conceived the word hate to mean something that is negative. Hate does not necessarily mean it has to be negative. You know, some of these things that we conceive as negative in our life, to some extent, they also have some positive role that they play in our life. What do I hate to see around me? You see, when you ask yourself that question, what do I hate to see? It helps you to know the problem that you have been assigned to solve in life. Because many a times, what we hate to see around us is a clue to what we have been asked to solve. What do I hate to see around me? What do I hate to see in my community? What do I hate to see in my nation? Now, note this. The key word here is what you are really disgusted about. What is it that when you see it, you feel totally disgusted about it? Martin Luther King, I'm sure we all know who Martin Luther King Jr. is. He hated racial discrimination and police brutality of the blacks. Hence, when the call came for him to lead the civil rights movement of the 1960, he did not hesitate, because that was what he hated to see. And when the time came for him to lead the civil rights movement, it was easy for him to accept the proposal. So what do you hate to see? It is a clue to what you have been assigned to solve in this life. Now let's take another example. And I know we are all aware of the ancient story of Moses and Pharaoh. We all knew that Moses was raised in the palace of King Pharaoh in those days. But when Moses became a matured man, we were told that he hated to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter. And because he hated to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter, he chose rather to suffer affliction with the children of Israel. So what he hated was to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter, because he knew from history that he was never truly the son of Pharaoh's daughter. So he hated to be associated with that. He hated to be associated with all the good things you can think that it would have been a privilege for him in the palace. And because of that, he decided to associate himself rather with the children of Israel. So what we are saying in essence is that for you to begin a journey of self-discovery, dialoguing with yourself, one of the things you need to do is to ask yourself, what do I hate to see around me? Now, the second question you might also want to ask, you see, it's not as if some of these questions can be asked independently. Sometimes they are interwoven, they are interrelated. Sometimes they go hand in hand with one another. Sometimes you cannot really separate them from one another. So, having asked yourself, what do I hate to see in life? Another question you might also want to ask yourself is, what in life really gets me angry? Remember, the goal of vocational leadership is to make you happy. HAPPY. We have talked about hate. We are now talking about anger. What in life really gets me angry? Many of us, we have conceived anger to be something to be very bad. Let me tell you, even God gets angry. God does not say we should not get angry, but all that is said is that we must not allow the sun to go down on our anger. So, in other words, anger should only be for a moment. It shouldn't be forever. It shouldn't last for a long time. So, what are you angry about? So, even when you are angry at something, it is so that you can change that thing. It is not for that anger to continue to persist. What in life really gets me angry? Am I angry at seeing people die of hunger? Am I angry at seeing people having disease or getting disease? Or am I angry at the way politics and government agencies are being run or organized in my country? We all know what is happening in many nations of the world, particularly in Africa today. We all know that the way the government of the society are organized can easily anger people. So if this is one of the things that gets you angry, it could be one of the problems that you have been assigned to solve in life. And the key word here is what you are furious about. What is infuriating you? What are you furious about in life? It is a clue to what you have been called to change, what you have been born to change. Now, the next question you might also want to ask yourself in the acronym of HAPPY is the question of purpose. What is my purpose in life? What is my purpose? Your aim here is to make existential inquiry about who you are, about why you are who you are. That is what you are trying, that is the aim you are trying to get at. You are making an existential inquiry about why you are the way who you are. You see, the point is, everything about you is unique. The truth of the matter is, there is no man among every man that has ever existed, there is no man that is exactly the way you are. There is no man that shares exactly the same fingerprint as you. There is no man that has exactly the same features as you. So you are unique in your own right. So because you are unique, you have been assigned to solve a particular riddle in this life. Now, take for example, uh, the members of our body. And in our body, we have the eyes, we have the mouth, we have the teeth, we have the ears, we have the nose, we have our fingers, we have our hand, we have our heart, we have our arm. We have different parts or different members of our body. None of these members perform the same functions. Even though they are members of the same body, they all perform different roles, they all perform different functions. So also in this life, even though we are interconnected as human race, we all have similar features. We all even reason the same way. But when it comes to the very minutest details about you, you are unique in your own way. And that is the more reason why you must find out the purpose you have been called to come and fulfill in life. So the key word here is, why was I born? When the purpose of a thing is not known, somebody said abuse is inevitable. If you don't know the purpose why you have been born, abuse will be inevitable. One of the reasons why some people get into wrong marriages, for example, is because they don't understand their purpose in life. The reason why some people get into wrong employment is because they don't know what their purpose in life. Your purpose in life is not to pursue money. That is where a lot of people are making mistake. They are substituting the pursuit of money for running after a purpose of their life. No, your purpose in life is not to pursue money. Your purpose in life is to pursue significance, is to pursue a life of impact, is to pursue a life that changes society, is to pursue a life that transforms the neighborhood. And that is the reason why we are putting this school of transformational leadership together, so that you can take a personal leadership journey, or we can take you through the process of experiencing a personal leadership journey for yourself, for you to be able to change your society. Remember, the key word here is, why was I born? You really need to sit down and really ask yourself that question. I don't know how many people have taken time to ask that question. I think when I was much younger, I spent a lot of time asking myself, why was I born? Why was I born? This is a question every man, every woman should genuinely ask themselves. And you know something? When you genuinely ask yourself these questions, the answer will always be there. But unfortunately, many people, they have not really sat down to dialogue with themselves and ask themselves, who am I? Why was I born? So there is a purpose for everything that is in this world, including you. There is a purpose to which you are born. You are not just born as an accidental baby. No, there is a purpose, there is a calling, there is something that God has assigned for you to fulfill in this life. So there is a purpose for everything in this world, according to the teleological argument of the origin of all things. So the next thing we want to look into in the order of our acronym HPPY, we want to explore the second P, which is passion, or you can even say passions. because sometimes people can have more than one passion. So what is or what are my passions in life? You see, passion are very powerful. You can never make it in life without passion. I don't care what you do. If you are not passionate about it, you are not going to be successful. I don't care how, uh, uh, I don't care the degree that you have. If you are not passionate about the area where you have earned that degree, you are not going to excel. Passion is very, very powerful. And when we are talking about passion, what are we talking about here? We are talking about what you naturally gravitate towards in life. You see, there are so many things that is natural to a number of us. You don't need to struggle to do it. You don't need to exert a lot of energy to get it done, because it's already inherent inside of you. You are naturally able to do it. That is one of the clues that you need to uncover about what you have been assigned to fulfill in this life. Another way you may want to ask that question is, what am I zealous about in life? What am I zealous about? You need to find your zeal. You need to find your passion. Unfortunately, a lot of people have made their passion their hobby. Many a times, our passion should not just be an hobby. It should be something we should really be doing with our life. Our passion, I want to say, is often a clue to our life's assignment. So you need to discover your passion. If you are passionate about music, probably maybe that is where God is asking you to excel. If you are passionate about engineering, maybe that is where God is asking you to excel. If you are passionate uh, uh, about whatever assignments you might think of in life, whatever you are naturally passionate about, it could be a clue to what you have been asked to solve in life. Like I said at the beginning, these things sometimes they don't work independently. What you are angry at, what you hate to see in life, what you are passionate about in life, your purpose in life, all these things they work hand in hand. But for the sake of explanation and trying to make things very plain to us, that is why we are trying to separate them. In real life, all these things go hand in hand. Now, let's talk about the last channel through which we are expected uh, to process why we are here in this world. What do I love to play with? You know, passion and play, sometimes they can go in the same direction. What you are passionate about, of course, you will naturally want to make it your hobby or your hobby. And that is why you see a lot of people, they have certain hobby, but they have a different career. And in their career, they are not excelling, but in their hobby, they are really excelling. What such people needs to do is to change their attention from that career that is not giving them joy and happiness, and focus their attention on that hobby and really convert it to something that will bring significance into their life. What do I love to play with? You see, play sometimes it could sound as if it's something that is not important, but it can be very, very critical to what you have been called to do in life. The key word is, what do I love and enjoy doing? What do you love to do? What do you love to sing about? What do you love to write about? Where do you love to go? Some people, their passion or their what they enjoy doing is to travel. There are some people, they just have a natural enjoyment for anything that has to do with mathematics. For some people, they just take personal pleasure in reading. You need to find your joy. You need to find what you love to do. And when you are able to find all these things by looking inward rather than looking outward, you see, like I told you, many of the questions you are looking for in life, they are not out there in the world. They are already resident inside of you. All you just need to do is to sit down and have a little dialogue with yourself. So I'd like to conclude this session by quoting what Walt Disney says. He says, the way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. It's time to stop talking about what you can do or what you could have done. Now is the time to begin to do what you can actually do with your life. So on that note, we have come to the end of the first topic under Module 1, which is vocational leadership. In the next topic, we'll be looking at personal leadership. So, but then before we go to the next topic, if you have any question, you can, if you want to ask question, you can go ahead and ask a question, or if you want to put it on the chat box, I can look at it from there, then provide answer to some of your questions. So it is now question time. If you have questions before we move to the second one, which is on personal leadership. Thank you. Do we have any question? Are we putting questions on the chat box? Okay, I assumed there is no question. So, let me stop sharing and stop recording.